psychological evaluation yet. We sent a letter to OCS asking for it. I'm pulling up right now. We have a public defender database. I'm going to see if they logged it in yet. But as of yesterday, it wasn't in there. Have you had any conversations with them about it?
Well, I have to go see a psychiatrist for a psych eval now. Or psychiatric. I have to go for a psychiatric evaluation now.
Okay.
I've been recommended for that, but I mean, he didn't do a very good job.
He said he was like a personality test was all that he did.
Yeah, he didn't do a very good job. I have a copy of it, and I mean, I don't really agree with some of the things he says in it. And I mean, he says something about I have an older adopted brother, and I haven't seen him, or something about I've barely seen him since he turned 18. So he's just like, he got that all twisted, you know.
Do you have an older adopted brother?
No, he was, they had one put up for adoption when my mom was 15. So he's like not even listening to what I'm saying.
Right.
And he wanted the short version. And I had thought that this was going to be moved to a family in need of service. But the OCS, at family service, they said it's still a child in care.
It's just the name of it. It's the same services that are rendered. Either way, they probably did family need of services. Is the family need of services because the child's in custody of the mother? So it is a family need of services case because the child has been returned to a custody of a parent. But whether it's a family in need of services or an OCS case, child in need of care case, it's the same thing. It's the same type of. They're still rendering services to you. It started out as a child in need of care case, though.
Well, they told me it still is. They said that's what it is.
Okay.
It's not a family in need of service.
It's a family in need of. It's a FINS case as to the child.
Well, I thought there was I mean, I was led to believe that that we were gonna go like that, you know, and I was gonna. I mean, I thought it was gonna be a short time, and it's gonna be over a year. I was led to believe this was the shortest route to go, just work with them, and it was gonna be a family in service. I thought it was gonna be like something different than a child in care.
Well, the child's not in care, but you still have a case plan that has to be completed, and so a lot of the, you know.
I didn't know there was going to be a second case plan. I thought it was.
The case plans are reviewed every 6 months.
I was led to believe that.
The case plan to see what's been done on it, if there's anything else that has to be done. If, for instance, like there's sometimes people, not saying you, but sometimes there's people that need like parenting classes. For instance, they don't know how to take care of their child, so they'll put them through parenting classes, but they don't show that they've learned. They learned it because they went through the parenting class, they passed the class, but they're not able to utilize those tools in parenting. So sometimes they make them go through something else till they get the skills right. So a case plan is ever evolving. So they asked you to do a psychological evaluation, which they did, and follow the recommendations. I don't know what those recommendations are because I haven't seen it, and it's not in the upload. I'm looking at the system now. It's not uploaded as of now in here. If there's a reason we can object to the different things that they're asking for the case plan, certainly we can file an objection to it. But I don't know what's being recommended. You know, is it being recommended that you have a psychiatric evaluation to make sure to follow up with the medications, make sure you're on the right medications or have the right diagnosis? I don't know at this point.
Well, I mean, I thought there was a difference, and I was told by them that it would have been like before December. But
what would have been before December?
Like when all this began, I would have had my daughter back.
Well, typically a case can last last a year. At a year, if you don't,
See, I didn't know that at the time.
yeah,
I don't know if I would have.
At a year, they can go to for termination of parental rights. Well, in this case, they're not going for termination of parental rights because mother has custody, and you have been doing everything that's been asked of you to do. There have been a few little fallbacks and stuff where switched up classes and different things like that. But other than that, just like the psychological evaluation, we had to get into court to make them pay for the psychological evaluation.
Yeah, I remember.
They didn't want to pay for it.
I remember the judge had to order them twice.
That's right. We had to get the judge to order it to be paid for so that you could get those services rendered. So that was some delays there. Now, I don't know what like I said, I don't know what the recommendations are. We sent, on February 26th, I sent a letter, I faxed it over to OCS, to Kelly Didon, asking her for a copy of the evaluation. I've not received it as of yet, so we're fixing. I'm going to do a follow-up letter asking for a copy of it again, so that I can. And I'm just going to say that that you're calling me asking me about recommendations, but I have not been able to see it, and I've requested it on February 26th. Please provide it to me. So we'll follow up with a second letter to them so that we can get it, so that I can talk to you more fully about it. Other than the psychiatric evaluation, are they recommending anything else?
The rehab, and that
drug treatment rehab.
Yeah, that will be completed in time.
When you're in classes, you do outpatient classes.
Yeah.
Okay, and how far? What phase are you in right now?
Towards the end.
Okay.
And I know, I remember I asked before, that something's been given to the DEA, and I've never understood that, and why I couldn't.
You mean given to the DEA?
They wrote a report and was given to the DEA.
About what?
About their findings, that their findings was confirmed and all that. I didn't.
Well, the DEA has nothing to do with child in need of care cases.
Well, I know that. I asked about it before, and I wasn't allowed to see a copy, and you said that I just couldn't see it or something.
Now, the district. Are you talking about the DA, the district attorney?
Yeah, the DA.
Yeah, DA and DEA are two different things.
Yeah.
The district attorney, there's a report that's written before every court appearance. That goes to the district attorney, it goes to the judge, it goes to me, it goes to all of us, but we're not allowed to distribute them. I can discuss what's in them with you, but I'm not allowed to give you copies. They're confidential, and they can't, they don't want them to get out. Those reports are written every time before court. We get one.
And then I know Miss Lacey had misled the judge. I don't know if it was a complete lie about when I quit the rehab, the first rehab, and about the case plan date when I was given the first case plan.
Right, and we kind of addressed that, and that's when the judge said that it wasn't being held against you. You had plenty of time to continue to work the case plan, and we would just document everything. So we did all that.
Okay.
Have they set you up with a psychiatric evaluation yet, or?
Yes, I have one coming.
Okay, when is it set for?
That is May 25th.
Okay. Who's the doctor? Do you remember?
No, I don't remember.
Okay. Are you getting a visit with your child?
Yeah, it's 1 hour a week.
Okay, I'll ask Kelly if we can increase.
Yeah, well, that doctor recommended they have security personnel. That's what that doctor recommended.
Okay.
Yeah, a little kind of ridiculous. He references the media.
Get a copy of that report so that I can read what's going on in there, so that I can address it.
Not a very good report at all.
and then I'll give you a call back, because that way we can address everything that's in the report, because certainly if there's things like that in it, I need to address that with the court in a letter to refute it. But I can't do it without reading it out, obviously. So let me see if I can get Kelly to get me a copy of the report, and then I can give you a call back, and we'll kind of go from there with some of those allegations.
Well, there was, I mean, I always thought there was a difference between a child in care and a family in service.
The difference is that in a child in need of care proceeding at a year, if there's not reunification, they have to change the goal to termination of parental rights.
Do you know how this next court date's going to go?
I don't, well, because basically we get a report about a week before the court date as to the status of everything. Now, yours is a little different because I'm talking to you and following up. So what the court report should state is it should provide the court with a copy of the psychological evaluation. It should say, that we have that there's a psychiatric evaluation set. I'm not sure what the court date is. I'm trying to look here. Let's see. Review May 27th. So it'll say that you either went or didn't go to the psychiatric evaluation. It'll talk about how your visitation's going, just kind of general stuff. And it should give a new a new case plan in there if it's asking you to do additional things. Have y'all had a family team conference lately?
Oh, what?
Where they call you in with a bunch of people in the room and they talk about your case plan, what you've done, what you need to do, those kind of things.
They've never done that.
Okay, they call that a family team conference?
That's never been done.
Hang on, let's see. Got any of those? Have they ever given you a copy of a case plan?
Yeah, I have 2 copies. I wasn't aware I was going to be given a second copy. I thought I was going to have my daughter back after, before December.
Well, you have to complete the case plan in order to get the child back.
Yeah, I know. I wasn't aware that it was on. I looked at the case plan. I was like, well, look, it's going to at least take till December because that was 12,
right.
And she was like, oh, well, it could be before that. That's what, you know.
Right, it can, yeah.
Well,
I'm trying to see if I've got a copy of it.
So whatever report their findings, I can't, and they gave them to the DA, but I can't get a copy or see any of their findings other than
it's not findings. It's just a report as the status of everything that's going on. Like for instance, the last report.
No, they said it was like maybe I should pull it out. It was neglect or something like that. I mean.
Yeah, they validated for
dependency. What is dependency?
Dependency is you have a child that's dependent upon you, and dependency can be a couple things. Dependency on substances, so you can be dependent upon substances, so a substance abuse situation. It can be neglect or anything of that nature. Can be failing to follow through with mental health, and so they feel it's unsafe for your child, so it's neglectful to your child. I mean, the words that they use can mean several different things.
Yeah, I would just like to see whatever they gave the DA. I don't see why can't see it. I mean,
it's not that you're seeing that you were served with a copy of the petition, which alleges what they did. We stipulate it so they're not proving anything, so it's not like it's a criminal situation. The report just basically says what the status of you fixing those issues were.
Okay.
It kind of goes in and says the reason for the agency involvement. It recants, why the agency became involved. Case plan compliance. On May 21st, 2013, you submitted to a substance abuse evaluation. This report is back from October. So you submitted to a substance abuse. It was recommended you participate in an intensive outpatient program, which is 9 to 12 months long, weekly random drug screens, and 2 AA or NA meetings a week, in addition to a psychological evaluation. On June 15th, they received a progress report which stated that you had been in treatment and appeared motivated to comply with the treatment. On July 7th, they received a report that said you had last made contact on June 11th, and that your whereabouts were unknown to LSA, and it appeared that you had dropped out of treatment. says that she spoke with you, and you stated you were no longer attending LSA. So it just kind of goes through the status of where you was at in compliance with everything. At the end, it says agency's recommendations. At this time, Mr. Ardoin is currently participating in substance abuse treatment. The agency is in the process of trying to pay for him to have a psychological evaluation. Therefore, the agency its recommendations that the agency continue to work with Mr. Ardoin while he completes a case plan and a review be set for 3 months. That was the report in October. That's just the one I had available at hand. So that's how those things, that's what the reports are that are presented to the DA. It's submitted to the DA, who files it with the court and gives it to the attorneys.
Okay, well,
So it's not anything it's just letting everyone know what the status is. That's what we use to question OCS with, to determine, or to say, hey, look, it says here that you're not doing A, B, and C. Is that true? No, that's not true. Okay, well, get me documentation. So basically it's their way of letting us know what they're testifying to.
okay.
So that we can prepare against that.
Well, I got a copy of the psychological evaluation, and he refers to Miss Deaton's excellent report, and I don't really think he should just be reading a report, because he only talked to me for 15 minutes. He's just going off a report. He don't really care what I say, and
well, you can have an independent psychological evaluation done.
Okay.
One independent of him, but unfortunately, that's something that you have to pay for if you would like to have one that we can present evidence to contradict his evaluation.
Okay. Well, I probably did sign the releases, because if I don't sign it, then I'm gonna be not working with the agency and not getting my daughter back. So I signed pretty much everything. I didn't sign that second case plan, but I don't think I'm gonna sign anything else for them people. I don't understand I don't know what they're doing, and I wasn't led to believe that I was gonna sign a release so she could just release all my information to the doctor. That wasn't what I was led to believe that I was signing. I was led to believe that he was gonna release information to her.
Okay. Well, they usually send in a report. It's kind of like substance abuse. If you ask someone that has a substance abuse problem to go get a substance abuse assessment, typically they go in and say, "Oh, I don't have a problem. I've never done this. I've never done that." And then the recommendations are, you don't need to do anything. So if they have a background as to what the allegations are, then they know, okay, well, how to question you, or not you necessarily, but any person, as to, okay, well, have you ever done this? Have you ever done that? And that shows them, like in a substance abuse evaluation at least, okay, well, they were not truthful. They said they didn't have a problem, but then as I questioned them, they admitted it. So I don't know if it's something akin to that, but you're saying that he only spent about 15 minutes with you, so certainly doesn't sound like enough time for him to get your side of the story and go through questioning of what DCSF wrote.
Yeah. There was another question I had. I just said it. But,
Well, what question was that?
yeah, I don't know if they violated my privacy any kind of way, or, I really, why don't I have my daughter? That was the question. Why,
You haven't completed your case plan.
So it's just the case plan. If I finish,
you gotta complete a case plan.
Okay, well, I was given a second case plan with a new date at the end, so how does that work?
Those dates, that's every 6 months the case plan is reviewed to determine what your level of compliance is.
Okay, so it really,
Did any of the,
if I complete everything they're telling me to by the next court date, then I should have my daughter back, right? If I complete everything they're saying.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
You're not going to be able on the next court.
I didn't know it was going to be a year long. I don't